you have been very clear about talking to football for everyone, not just for the elite. And I have certain questions about this. For example, there's a journalist from Bulgaria, Lian Kuchit, has a question. He said, what recommendations do you have for the smaller leagues, for the modest leagues, to achieve growth of their product, to be more successful in the international market too? Well, we've talked a lot about this. I think that the fan representative said that there's a very basic initial thing to be able to grow. It is the financial sustainability of your competition. Your domestic league is very, very important, because otherwise people just want more and more money just to cover your losses, and you're never satisfied. And this is what is happening in a lot, or some of the large European leagues. If your club is always losing money, you put your hand up and say, I want more money. I want more money from sponsors, from the TV or whatever. And what does this mean? It means that things like the Super League appear on the scene because your losses are so great that you want more money. It doesn't matter if you take it from your next door neighbor or from whoever. So we need to have to try that European football is sustainable, and that has to be based on the national leagues and done by the national leagues. And secondly, once sustainability exists, and the UEFA has made steps forwards for the competition, for the clubs who are competing in that, but not just for the clubs who are competing in UEFA, but for all clubs who are competing in all national leagues. So we have to talk about this redistribution of the money. You know, the national leagues, the big leagues. I'm not worried about sitting around a table and talk about redistributing the revenues. No problems whatsoever, because you know, each league has its own realities, but we know we have to sit down and talk about these things. But we need to start with financial sustainability, because otherwise all this extra income will be to cover our losses. So we need to have a football that is economically sustainable. That is the first stage. This happened in Spain 10 years ago. Our league lost 500 million euros per season. It was totally impossible. So if we got more revenues, what did we do? We paid off our debts, but we then continued to lose more. So we have a model for financial control. The clubs no longer lose money. I'm talking in general terms, of course. And now we are sustainable. So now you can talk about more revenue, more distribution, more balanced distribution. You can talk about lots of other things, because if you don't, all of us are in the football world. I have owned a football club for many years. At the end of the day, everything they give you is to try and buy new players to see if you can be promoted and, you know, cover a few of your losses.